local outages all across the state, impacting tens of thousands of Texans. Stay off the roads if at all possible.
We are dealing with one of the most significant icing events that we've had in the state of Texas in at least several decades.
In 2021, we faced a pandemic,
an unprecedented storm,
and some of the hardest challenges we've ever faced.
But we are strong.
But we are strong.
Stronger than any storm.
Stronger than any storm.
Stronger than any storm.
In December 2020, after a year of lockdowns and unprecedented uncertainty, the pandemic appeared to be winding down. A new year, free of 2020's historic adversities, lay ahead in 2021, or so it seemed.
Winter Storm Yuri hit GVEC really on February the 14th in 2021. The morning of February 15th is when it all became very real. And of course, this was a storm that impacted the entire state. Even more so than the entire state, all of Texas, as well as all the states surrounding us. So this is a storm like we have not seen in a long, long time, and certainly within my history here at GVEC. We had over 160 consecutive hours of below freezing temperatures. In ERCOT, when we get to that level, they order an EEA level 3 or rotating outages for the express reason of trying to save the grid from complete blackout. GVEC had about 124 rotating outage sessions, and in each one of those sessions we had an average of 15,000 members being impacted. It was a major impact on the electric grid, and it will have long-term implications for all of us. As you might imagine, with the extreme demand that GVEC was experiencing, and again, not just GVEC, but all electric utilities across the state, the price for power skyrocketed. Now that's not to say that GVEC didn't have fixed contracts in place. We did. We had numerous contracts in place for power that covered the vast, vast majority of our needs during that entire week. However, when you experience the extremes that we were experiencing, there was no reasonable way to project that our load would be as high as it was. And so for a small portion of our load, we were exposed to the real-time market. Real-time market at that time was $9,000 a megawatt hour. That's $9 a kilowatt hour. Now at your home, you are paying about 10 cents a kilowatt hour. GVEC, for a small portion of its power, was $9 a kilowatt hour. So you might get a sense then of how big of a financial impact that week had on GVEC as well as other electric utilities across the state. We literally had tens of millions of dollars rolling out the doors of GVEC. In fact, we had numerous entities within the state go bankrupt just during that week because of the impacts of the storm.
We have faced adverse issues before. And I think as a utility, we have to always expect the unexpected. I don't know that I can recall anything that was operationally as adverse as this storm. The board's biggest concern as Storm Yuri was keeping power available to the membership. That was the biggest issue that we had. And the other issue that was of real importance was the cost that was being incurred to keep the system up.
GVEC, just like all utilities, experienced extreme power supply costs during that 1 week, and because of that, we certainly knew that we were going to have to make some adjustments to our operations from a financial perspective. One, we knew ultimately we were going to have to raise rates. We didn't do that right away. We tried to set a longer-term plan in place, and so we raised rates later during the year in June and October. And then we also began to set a plan in place to reduce the amount of capital expenditures that we had planned for 21 and 22, as well as we look to reduce our operation and maintenance expenses as well.
Although it took an unexpected and oversized place in 2021, GVEC's story is bigger and more resilient than Storm Yuri. the GVEC team pushed forward and refocused on the goal of delivering more and ended the year with numerous accomplishments for our membership.
As we saw Winter Storm Yuri coming, that's when we moved to the mode of activating our emergency operations plan. The emergency operations plan clearly defines a lot of steps that we need to take in preparation for a storm coming. But overall, our system performed very well. The system is designed year over year to handle the worst of conditions. The enhancements that we make year over year for system improvement projects and the investments that we make absolutely helped. We're consistently studying our grid and trying to identify where weaknesses may be within our system. And so there are things that we do on an annual basis, like regular pole inspections, where we go out and inspect a percentage of our poles that we have that serve the electric consumer. Miles of right-of-way. How many miles of trees do we clear on an annual basis to ensure that the trees are not impeding into the lines and therefore impacting service to our members? Pole replacements. When you have 190,000 poles, believe it or not, you're going to have some of them that fail. And so we have to take a proactive approach to change those poles out on a yearly basis to ensure that it doesn't fail, therefore causing an outage. Drone inspections, so we're utilizing drones to inspect some of our most critical distribution circuits, our transmission infrastructure, and our sole purpose is really trying to identify areas where we could have potential failure and address it before it actually happens. GVEC monitors 167 circuits on a monthly basis. We track the performance through our benchmark data, and our benchmark data there helps us to identify areas for improvement. So if you were a part of an outage in 2021, on average you were out of power for about an hour and 18 minutes. Our SAIDI number was a little over an hour and a half. On a system level as a whole, the GVEC membership experienced just over one outage on a yearly basis. Improvement projects to our grid are extremely important, especially as we see new growth and development occurring. A couple of examples of that would be the Santa Clara project, where we have a lot of industrial load occurring in that area. And so we've been doing a lot of pre-planning to ensure that we can build transmission and a substation in the Santa Clara area to be able to support that growth and development. In addition to that, we're seeing a lot of water activity in our area as well, and the Delhi area is where we're focusing on building some transmission infrastructure along with a new Delhi substation that are needed to support that water activity. We were also able to complete the final year of our system-wide meter changeout to our new AMI infrastructure that allows us to have near real-time visibility to each and every one of our members.
So in addition to our operational strategies in 2021, we continue to offer the Peak Time Payback Program. Peak Time Payback Program is a program in which the member will decrease their consumption during peak times in the summer months. This is important because GVEC's transmission rate is set during these peak times in the summer. The member allows GVEC to adjust their thermostat slightly and for short periods of time in order to make this reduction. In 2021, members owning Nest and ecobee thermostats were invited to participate in the program. In May of this year, we've expanded the program to also include Honeywell home thermostats and Amazon thermostats. Upon enrollment, they received an $85 bill credit, and then after exiting the summer months, after September 30th, they were given another $30 credit. So at the end of 2021, we had roughly 2,100 members enrolled in our Peak Time Payback Program, which saved the co-op $157,000 in annual transmission costs. The member can sign up for the Peak Time Payback Program through GVEC's website.
All of these improvement projects that we've discussed are there to help build this strategy around building a reliable and strong grid that can withstand anything that's thrown at us. A lot of the things that we're seeing now with distributed energy resources like solar, voltaic, and battery storage at the home, electric vehicles, intelligent thermostats that we can utilize for peak time payback. All of these distributed energy resources are things that we will have to intelligently manage within our grid. And the best way to do that is by having a really strong core communications infrastructure that gives you real-time visibility to those devices. So that strong core network is there to manage these emerging technologies. Along with it helps us build a self-healing grid that allows us to improve reliability to the membership as a whole.
Although 2021 had one of the most intense storms we've ever seen,
Alongside a global pandemic,
we continued to grow.
we continued to grow.
We continued to grow.
What does it take to face a storm?
To face a pandemic, it takes guts.
It takes guts.
It takes dedication.
Persistence. Compassion.
Teamwork.
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 The people and services of GVEC have grit. Born out of meeting the needs of its customers in challenging times, our Beyond the Meter and Internet services continued expansion despite the year's obstacles.
In spite of all the challenges that GVEC faced in 2021, we remain poised and strong to move forward, move ahead, and continuing to serve our members. So in 2021, GVEC's Beyond the Meter services business increased revenues by just over 15%. That includes our AC and heating services, our electrician services, and our solar and battery installation and services as well. We anticipated that we would be affected by supply constraints. Our HVAC segment, our heating and cooling segment, saw the biggest challenges, the most constraints from a supply chain perspective. GVEC went out and partnered with additional suppliers to ensure that we had the equipment and the materials that we needed to offer to our customers. And further, we began to offer a more comprehensive maintenance plan, the GVEC HVAC Spec Check. It's one all-inclusive solution for our customers. It provides top to bottom maintenance and tune-up on their AC systems. One of the bright points of 2021 was the increased interest from our members of distributed energy resources, or DERs. GVEC and our Beyond the Meter team sees that as an opportunity for our members and customers at large to adopt new energy solutions through solar paired with battery as one prime example. We see that as a long-term play for both our members and both our power supply perspective within GVEC, ultimately benefiting both sides. So in 2021, we saw a significant increase in the demand for battery storage solutions from our members. It was so great that beyond just the Tesla Powerwall, we began to offer additional solutions in zone-in and in-phase batteries. Those batteries provide a holistic solution just like the Tesla Powerwall. And by the end of the year, with those three sources of batteries for our members, we were just shy of 200% over the original projections on the year. 2021 saw a 7% increase in solar installation and sales. A large part of that was driven by offering our members and our customers additional terms of financing, including 0% interest out to 15 or 20 years if the customer would like that. So providing these solutions for our customers helped manifest itself into additional sales that we had not seen in years past.
In the face of adversity, we rise.
Fight.
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 Shine.
GVEC doesn't shy away from a challenge.
COVID and Yuri can't stop us.
GVEC is stronger than any storm.
So in the past 2 years, there have been a lot of challenges for GVEC, some of our biggest challenges ever. Obviously COVID, that was a big challenge, and then we had to learn to work in a different way, a different environment, remotely, all kinds of different things. So in an effort to respond to the challenges that all of our customers are facing, we actually made the decision to upgrade all of our existing 100 meg customers to the 250 meg plan at no additional cost. We also added an additional speed plan of 500 megs that has had a lot of response to it, so I think it's something our customers were looking for. And then we kept our 1 gig plan in place that we've had since we first launched fiber to the home. And we also expanded our fiber to the home infrastructure, adding 740 miles of fiber and 3,500 passings, which is 3,500 homes and businesses that we can now offer fiber to the home to than we were able to offer in 2020.
In 2021, we introduced new options to enhance our customer experience by rolling out a new router that is called the Calix GigaSpire Blast, which has Wi-Fi 6 technology, which delivers greater range with less interference for greater reliability and speed. We also have a new Wi-Fi app, which allows for the CSRs in the field and the technicians and customers to have greater control, and then allows for the customers from the Wi-Fi app to also be able to test their speeds. So whenever a customer thinks they have slow speeds, they can run that speed test and be able to see the results.
In 2021, we were able to strengthen our wireless infrastructure by upgrading 15 new locations and adding 2 new tower locations with our CBRS technology. CBRS is a citizens band radio system, which is a way of sharing bandwidth that was reserved for the military to be used by private enterprise. They've come up with an innovative way to make it so that we can use it when it's not being used by the military. This is a very coveted band of spectrum that allows us to reach out 15 miles from our tower sites versus 8 miles from our tower sites, and also consistently offer the 25 meg speeds that we offer on other planes.
Teamwork makes us stronger.
GVEC came together, worked together,
fought together
to overcome 2021.
We are strong.
We are strong.
And we make each other strong.
We make each other strong.
GVEC is stronger than any storm.
Throughout 2021, GVEC never lost sight of the difficulties those we serve were facing when it came to the changing landscape of public and work life. Those adversities drove our cooperative family closer, inspiring us to work with greater unity and flexibility for the bigger purpose of empowering lives.
I'm very proud of the way our employees came together in the changing environments and the challenges of 2021. I do think it's what we do best as an employee base and as an organization is when there's a challenge, we come together, we do whatever it takes. They've proven that time and time again, and during the storm and during 2021 and during the changing environment of COVID, that was no different. Because when we do that and when we do that successfully, then we can provide the customer service that our customers are expecting and meet their expectations and keep those expectations at a high level.
Even though 2021 had its own set of unique challenges for us, we were still able to support the community and the organizations that mean so much to us and our membership across the service area. But it looked a little different due to the challenges we were facing. And so we were still able to get to these 32 organizations, the volunteer fire departments across our service area, and hand deliver $32,000 in checks and funds to these folks to continue their operations. We were also able to support 20 different high school seniors with $2,500 each in scholarships, and we featured them on social media, got their checks to them, and they were able to continue their higher education, and we were able to continue the support that we know that our members and those organizations that we serve depend on from GVEC. Also in 2021, we were able to distribute over $312,000 out of our Power Up grant fund to the communities we serve. And that brought us to over $3 million distributed since the program began in 2012. We also distributed nearly $36,000 in financial assistance funds to our membership. And that takes us to over $571,000 in financial assistance for electric bills since the program began in 2012.
Throughout the storms of 2021, the figurative and the literal, GVEC operated from an unshakable belief in prudent financial stewardship. Without it, we couldn't have emerged from 2021 fiscally sound and able to move forward with a plan to restore our financial footing to our pre-Yuri status.
When Storm Yuri was rolling in, I didn't realize how strong the impact was going to be of this storm. We'd never seen anything like it before. Once it really set in and we started having power supply issues, it was another challenge that we hadn't anticipated because we started losing power supply, and what limited power was available was very expensive. Thank goodness for our strong financial position. We were able to weather this storm with minimal impact to our membership. We've come out, I think, stronger than ever in the fact that we realize that we can deal with these kind of problems and come through on top. We've come a long ways, and I couldn't be more proud of our employees and our ability to get through this hard time. The 2021 financials, which include GVEC, GVEC Internet, and Beyond the Meter Services, figures included sales of $308,043,000. Our expenses were $288,317,000. The debt service coverage ratio was 3.02, while equity to asset ratio was 41.3%.
As long as we have each other, we can conquer anything that comes our way.
As long as we have each other,
we can conquer anything that comes our way.
Anything that comes our way.
A storm.
A storm.
A pandemic.
A pandemic.
Working together,
we can overcome any challenge.
We can overcome any challenge.
Together we stand.
together we stand.
Together we rise.
Together we rise.
Fight.
Fight.
Shine.
Shine. GVEC is stronger than any storm.
2021 was a difficult year for GVEC, but we've made it through it. And whenever you are faced with these types of challenges, I think you find out a little more about yourself, about your organization, your employees, your board, and your members as well. And I can't say enough about how everyone responded to this event in this past year. Because of GVEC's heritage and the challenges that we have faced this last year, it is proof that we have the ability and the team to get through whatever challenges may come our way. GVEC has proven that it is stronger than any storm.